welcome and welcome back to Mira's kitchen. Today I am making dinner for my family and I will be sharing with you a very easy to make recipe that's spaghetti meatball. This is my children's favorite meal, and so I'll be going over all the ingredients with you. But before we get started, if you are new here to my channel, please take a second and subscribe to my channel. Please click on the bell icon and click on all to get notified of all the videos that I upload. Also, if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And without further ado, let's get started. Here I have half a pound of ground beef. I have some parsley chopped up. I have fresh onions, garlic, breadcrumbs, oregano, salt, tomato sauce, of course our spaghetti noodles, chicken seasoning, onion powders, and garlic powder. This is all the ingredients that we are using today, as well as 1 egg. Okay guys, so let's get cooking. Here you want to have a pot with hot boiling water, and first thing I'm gonna go ahead and cook the spaghetti noodles first. So I went ahead and added some salt and oil just to prevent the noodles from sticking together. And you wanna cook your spaghetti noodles according to your package instructions. All right, so let's go ahead and marinate the ground beef. So in a skillet, add some oil, about a tablespoon to 1.5 tablespoons of oil. And what I like to do first is I like to saute the onion and the garlic first before adding it onto the beef. I'm adding about 3 tablespoons of the onions. And you want to cook the onion until it gets like translucent, or you see that it's very soft. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of grated garlic. And I'm going to allow this to cook. Onto that, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of oregano. This is dry oregano that I'm adding, just about half a teaspoon here. And as I added it onto the oil, the onion, and the garlic, this just brings out all the oregano flavor, just like so. This shouldn't take more than 1 minute, okay guys? You don't want to overcook the onions or the garlic because they're going to continue to cook as we cook the meatballs later. Okay, that looks good, so I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to reserve this for later, and let's go ahead and make the meatballs now. Okay, so I'm going to start by adding onion powder, garlic powder, about a 1/4 teaspoon, half a teaspoon of chicken seasoning, a pinch of salt because the chicken seasoning contains salt. I'm also going to add ground black pepper that I forgot to mention earlier, about half a teaspoon. Breadcrumbs, I'm gonna add about 4 tablespoons. Fresh parsley, and and 1 egg. And you want to give this a good mix. So I'm going to use my gloves just to mix it better. It's always better to mix with your hands, huh? So you want to make sure that you mix it very well to a soft consistency. That way there's no clumps or anything when you try to do your meatballs. At the same time, I'm gonna go ahead and add the onion garlic mixture that we reserved from earlier with the oregano. And I'm gonna continue to mix. So I allowed the beef to sit for like 10 minutes to marinate, and now I'm gonna go ahead and make the meatballs. You wanna grab like a chunk of meat and you wanna make it like a ball like this. And what I have here is I have a plate of flours, and I'm gonna add the meatball onto the flour just to give it a coat on the outside so it prevents it from burning later on when you add them, when you cook them a little bit in oil. Okay, so this is what you do, and it would look like something like this, right? So once you're done making the meatballs, you want to go ahead and coat them in the flour just like so. Not so much flours, but just enough to coat the meatball from the outside. Just like that. So in a skillet, I'm gonna add some oil. Medium high heat. And I'm going to add the meatballs. And I'm just going to cook them until they're brown. So once the oil is hot, you want to add your meatballs. And just again, guys, we're just gonna cook them until they're brown on all sides, and not so much for fully cooking them because they're gonna continue to cook in the spaghetti sauce later. So I'm gonna flip them to the other side. And as you can see, it started to brown. So you wanna make sure you do that on all sides. Again, I have my heat on medium-high heat. That way it's not too high heat. And you wanna keep it that way so it'll prevent it from burning, okay? So I think the meatball looks good so far. I think they have a good brown color so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the heat and let's cook our spaghetti sauce. So in a pot or a skillet, I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of butter. I also want to mention that I went ahead and drained the spaghetti noodles. I wash it under cold water to stop the cooking process, and it's ready once the sauce is ready. So allow the butter to melt. I'm gonna add half of the tomato sauce can that I have. I added some water so that way I can get the rest of the tomato in the can. And you wanna give this a good stir. I'm going to season this with some salt, about a teaspoon here, ground black pepper, and I am also going to add 1 bay leaf. And you wanna give this a good stir just to combine the salt, the pepper, and the bay leaf. Now on medium-low heat, I'm going to simmer this after adding the meatballs for 25 to 30 minutes, okay guys? Because you want to make sure your meatballs are fully cooked as well, and the tomato sauce thickens. Here we go. And you will have a lot of flavor here. Tomato sauce is very simple. I didn't add much of ingredients in there, just because the meatball has a lot of flavor, and all this flavor is gonna go into the tomato sauce. You wanna give this a good stir, just like so. And again, adding the bay leaf in there just gives it a really nice flavor, as well as it smells really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover this 25 to 30 minutes on low heat. All right guys, so my tomato sauce has been cooking for 25 minutes now. I'm adding the spaghetti, and I'm gonna go ahead and give this a good stir. And you wanna cook this for like a minute or so until it's hot and nice. Here we go. This is all done, so let's assemble the dish. All right, there we go. And I'm going to add some parsley over. Spaghetti meatball. So delicious, so simple to make, guys. And look at the meatball. I just want to open one to show you guys how it looks, how tender it is. And it is so flavorful because it has so much flavor from all the ingredients that we added, and the spaghetti is cooked perfection. Here we go. Here you have it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.